Hi, I'm Stephanie from Spark Employment Services, presenting you Back to Business, short videos designed to let you know what changes have been made since reopening and what you should expect before visiting certain businesses and organizations. So today we are joined by Dawn Condon, owner and founder of Connected Living, Yoga for Real People. Hi Dawn, how are you doing today?
Stephanie, I was saying, if I said I was freezing, I would be the only one in the whole city that would say that.
So tell me a little bit more about Connected Living, Yoga for Real People.
So Connected Living, I'm a yoga teacher, yoga therapist, a wellness coach, personal trainer, and a fitness instructor. My goal is to get people to understand that yoga is not what we think we see when we think about yoga. So it's not, yoga is not for flexible, thin, skinny people, young, who run around in little tube tops. It's for real people like you and me, people of all shapes and sizes, of all ages. And my clientele, a big portion of my clientele are actual seniors, along with the other, groups of people. But yeah, yoga is for everybody. It's not just for what we see in the magazine as yoga. It's a way of living your life, and the actual practice of yoga, the asana practice or the physical practice that we see people, or when we think about yoga, is just a small part of it. But that physical practice itself has so many benefits in our lives that it's just a wonderful practice, and everybody should be doing it.
I agree. So can you tell me a little bit about how COVID-19 has affected the way you do things and what new changes and accommodations have been implemented, as well as what the future might look for your organization?
So COVID-19, my business depends on face-to-face interactions, being in the same room as people and working with their bodies. And so having to shut down and not be able to access my clients face-to-face was a big transition for me. When I think it was like March 12th, I started getting like little spidey senses that something weird's going to happen. And so I just put it out there to the world that I was taking everything I had online. We weren't shut down officially, so I was still able to have people come into class, but those people who were not, comfortable doing that could access my programs online. I had no clue how I was going to do that. So I had to, after I made the announcement, I had to figure out how I was going to do that. So I accessed some of the chat groups with other yoga teachers who have already been going through this around the world, and figured it out. So within 24 hours, I was up and online. And then when we got shut down entirely, almost all of my clients continued with me online. So it's been really wonderful. It's been a great experience. It was something that my business was going to be doing anyways. I had plans to do that. I'd sort of been dawdling on an idea for a good year. And then when this hit, I said, okay, well, now God is telling me I have to do this. So figure it out.
Yeah,
So
perfect timing.
I've created a YouTube channel. I'm upgrading my website this summer. It's going to be completely different. I'll have an online access portal for a subscription basis. You'll be able to live stream classes. You'll be able to come in soon enough. You'll be able to come back into the studio. Now, coming back into the studio is where the questions happen, right? So we're going to insist that you wear a mask into the facility until you are on your mat. Our mats are going to be 6 feet apart. You're going to have to bring in your own mat. I have hospital grade disinfectant wipes, so you'll have to wipe off your mat before you put it down and then after you put it down. Any equipment that you use, like a strap or a bolster, gets taken out of service immediately, and it's not accessible for the rest of the day until the end of the day when we disinfect that. And then in between classes, there'll be a floor washing and a wiping of all the high-touch surfaces. So class schedule will sort of spread out just a little bit. If you're coming into the class, into the studio, you'll have to book your spot, and that'll happen online through the website. So that will all be upgraded when I upgrade the website. So it'll be a really interesting and fascinating process for me, that's for sure, because this is a completely new area of expertise that I'm going to have to dive into. But yeah, so especially because a large portion of my clientele are seniors, So I want to make sure that they're safe and they're healthy. And I'm making sure that all of the high-touch surfaces certainly are wiped often. I'm doing that now, even though I'm in the studio by myself. It's kind of weird, walking around. You were the only one who touched this. Yeah, but it does, you were outside earlier, at the gas station. So, so I'm, even though I'm in the studio by myself, I'm still wiping things down. So I'm creating that habit. In our business, it was really important to keep the space really clean to begin with. So those are already habits that I've acquired. Now I'm just upping that game. And like I said, I'm really working on the habit of wiping things down, even though I'm in the building all by myself.
Great.
So,
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Dawn. It's been a really a great pleasure talking to you and learning more about your organization. So this has been Back to Business with Connected Living, Yoga for Real People. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Namaskar.